respected elders and dear friends. Good evening. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the 3 days workshop organized by IIT Roorkee and Heartfulness Education Trust, extending it to IIT Jodhpur and IIT Jammu. It's an honor and a pleasure to share this time and space with you all, with the esteemed organization and distinguished guests. We deeply appreciate the support extended by the organizations, by the institutions in making this possible, this event possible. We will be taking you through steps, simple steps on heartfulness practices on 3 consecutive days. And the first step that we are going to take is a simple step towards a healthy lifestyle. In today's world, it is actually ironical that we are looking for peace, harmony, and love, which is our innate nature as human beings. As every finite system is backed by or supported by infinity, we will also experience something like that during these sessions. We will explore the subjective world through the meditation practices and the various techniques that Heartfulness Institute brings to you for living a balanced and healthy life. I am very delighted to introduce you to the speaker of today, Dr. Veronique Nicolai. I have been associated with her since past 2 decades, and she is, I can say, jack of all trades and master of many too. She is a pediatrician, she's MD, and she supports the patients with special concern for cancer patients and fertility. She's a yoga instructor and the director of Heartfulness Yoga School and heading the Heartfulness Yoga teacher training programs in India and abroad since 2017. She was born and brought up in France, but I can say she's Indian now. She's settled in Chennai for past 20 years and practicing heartfulness meditation since 25 plus years. She is the core trainer for International Heartfulness Training Program for 12 plus years to train the meditation trainers. So over to you, Veronique, to take up on the topic of healthy lifestyle, embarking on the journey of change towards peace.
Namaste. And thank you for this very warm introduction. I am always happy to be called to speak to students. And I think there are a few faculties too. So I might be sitting with the faculties, but when I started this practice of heartfulness meditation, I was just a medical student. And it has changed my life completely. So much so that it even brought me to India, but that's, not really part of today's story. And I'm always happy to be able to share the techniques that have helped me during my studies, during my work, and after that, during my everyday my everyday life in my different roles. So as I am from the medical field, of course, my angle will be to take you through a holistic lifestyle with health as the center of this talk today. And you will see that meditation is actually at the heart of our health, especially in the modern world. So I'm happy right now that I can actually, reconcile the two things that I love the most, which is medicine and meditation. Medication and meditation all together for the betterment of everyone and all, youngster and elderly people too. I will share my screen to show you a few slides that I have prepared to back this talk. And so to talk about lifestyle, I will take a very simple angle, trying to give you a few practical tools. I like when things are practical, which is also something that I have found in Heartfulness. Something that gives me something in hand quite quickly, and even more when I practice more, but that I can implement tomorrow, that is not complicated. So my the tips I want to offer to you are of that order. And for that, we will look at 7 factors, 7 areas. We will look at food, and I hope to bring you a different angle to food, water, breathing, our bowel movement and appetite, exercise, sleep, and relaxation. So if you want to really look at health, on the whole, in a holistic way, you have to take into account all these factors. That's what lifestyle is all about. That's why health, is based upon. And it's you cannot remove one of these factors. They are all kind of working together in harmony to keep ourselves in harmony, and that means healthy. So let us start with food. I will take you, with, of course, the different hats that I'm wearing, also to some concepts that are from the yoga world, from ancient texts like the Yoga Sutras and the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, which I'm sure some of you know better than me in this audience. But roughly, to tell you about timings when it is best to eat, there are timings that are better to eat than others. And for example, one of the first rules with food would be to eat only during daylight, which means after sunset. It is better not to eat, which means in India, quite early. And in the West, in my country, in France, sometimes in summer, it can be a little later, like 9 o'clock, 9:30. Why? Because our system is, has a clock, an internal clock that is driven by the sunlight. And when the sun sets, my system also sets, which means my digestive possibility also starts to reduce. And so when I'm young, it is perfectly fine. When I'm becoming older, then I start having the weight of doing things that are not really in harmony with my own system. So if I want to look at an ideal way to take my meals, this is how it should be done. You should break your fast in the 4 hours after you get up. After 4 hours after your breakfast, I'm sorry, then you can have your lunch. Keep a gap of 4 hours. And then 4 hours later, you can have your dinner. So let's have a look at the clock on the screen. If I wake up at 6 o'clock, before 10 o'clock, I should break my fast. If I break my fast, let's say at 9 o'clock, okay, by 1 o'clock, I can have my lunch. So far, so good. This is roughly what we're doing. but then my dinner should be by 5 o'clock, which is quite early for, the usual lifestyle that we have. 6 o'clock, but try to have an early dinner and see how it impacts your energy level and your sleep. So remember that those guidelines have been found by yogis, and yogis were all about being more efficient, doing less for the maximum output. So it's quite interesting to look at their tips, because they have been experienced for thousands of years, and they are still valid today in our modern world. So that's something that you can try, as change in your lifestyle. And if you actually have been interested in diets, for example, you will recognize that some of the diet that are right now quite in vogue, like intermittent fasting, actually also provide this kind of timings. Okay, so a few things to think about. If we think about the quantity of food, so the size of your stomach is the size of your fist, okay? So if you look at your fist and you look at the quantity of food that is there in your plate, then you will know if you've taken too much or if it is reasonable quantity. Maximum 2 feasts. And the best is actually to keep 1/4 of your stomach empty, so that, with air, so that the food can be mixed with the juice properly. The most important part I wanted to highlight today is about the quality of the food that you are choosing. And if you did not know, your food has a quality that's going to influence your mind, your mood, and the way you think and you behave. I'm sure you know about the 3 gunas, tamasic, sattvic, and rajasic. And I'm sure you have heard some of, the foods that are under these titles. Rajasic, as you can see, spices, onion, coffee, tea, chocolate, peanuts, eggs. So what is a Rajasic mind? Rajasic mind is someone who can be agitated, but who is also, in the action, likes to be in the future. And the consequence of that is that often they also feel, a bit anxious about what's going to happen, not being able to be satisfied with what is in the present. So there's more stress in that way, because you are always wondering what's next. On the other end of the spectrum, the tamasic mind, people are more reserved, turned towards the past. They liked it how it was before, so they have regrets. And on the other side, deeper spectrum, it's also people who can be depressed. This kind of food, that enhance that tendency are fried food, reheated, the food from yesterday, frozen food, canned food, refined food, alcohol, and red meat. So if you can recognize that your diet belongs to one or the other, or maybe both, it would be interesting when you look at your plate, not to think about carbs and fats and things like that, but how is this food going to influence my energy level, my mind state? And can I find something that will actually keep me in the present, so that I am more up to what is happening right now, concentrated, gathered at one point, centered. That is given by sattvic food. Sattvic food is vegetarian, as you can see, fresh, locally grown, grains, milk, nuts, sprouts, and honey. Sprouts being really full of this prana, this vital energy that food is supposed to bring to us. So you can see also that alcohol is in both the tamasic and the rajasic food, and it's not a mistake. It's because alcohol actually acts like a catalyst. So you must have seen or heard, that some people, when they drink alcohol, they start weeping, or some people start to become overexcited, laugh a lot, or become angry. Alcohol will accentuate the tendency that you already have in your mind. So if you are on the Rajasic spectrum, if you drink alcohol, you might become even violent. And if you are on the tamasic side, then you might be completely desperate and even start weeping and crying. So that's why, alcohol, on top of whatever damage it can do in your cells, it also influences immediately your mind. Okay, so that's an angle that I'm sure is quite new for you. And if you want to make the most of your mind, which I'm sure in IIT is something that, is quite put under pressure, well, try to look at what's in your plate and correct it. It doesn't mean you cannot have a nice fried, bonda or, some fried items that we all like. But make sure that maybe you have some fruits along with that, or some sprouts, something that will counterbalance. So we go to water, and the quantity of water that we should try to drink, and that usually we're not really aware, unless you carry a water bottle and you know how many times you're filling it. We should drink 3 liters of water per day, wherever you are, whatever the weather outside or inside, the temperature, it doesn't matter, 3 liters, so that you can replace the water that is part. 60% of your body is water. In some organisms, like 80%. And water is necessary for all the chemical reactions to happen. So very important element in our constitution. When do we drink water? I think very much, and it's part of, also the education of many people, that I can see there are a few questions coming in the chat. I think we'll take question at the end, okay? Maybe you will find some answers before I finish. And I would like to keep the questions for the end. So please keep them as they come. We'll review the chat together. So water, I think that, in the tradition of Ayurveda, we do not drink during our meals. And the reason is that the volume taken by the water is going to fill your stomach too much. Either, feeling it extra compared to the quantity of food that you want to put, and also diluting your gastric juices that are necessary for digestion. If you want to drink a sip to just swallow better because the food is dry, this is perfectly fine. But otherwise, you will try to drink in between. Okay, so we look at breakfast at 9 o'clock, you will drink at 11. And that's also a very nice way to, if you feel hungry, to wait. Okay, fill your stomach with water and drink regularly until it's lunchtime. And then again, at 3 o'clock in between your lunch and dinner. Now, there is something very nice habit to take. And just coming back to the previous slide, it's to, when you wake up, to drink 2 big glasses of water. 2 big glasses, not the small, chai tumbler, but the big one that contain approximately 250 ml of water. And the reason is that if you can drink 1 liter completely in the first hour after you wake up, you're going to rehydrate yourself from the night, but you're also going to make a mechanical action of flushing, what is in your stomach. And remember, if there is any food left over from the night before that has been undigested, it's considered tamasic. So if you have your breakfast without taking care of removing this waste food, in your stomach, whatever you take for breakfast is going to become tamasic too. Even if you have, the most beautiful fruit salad or fruit juice in the morning, it's still going to become tamasic and not sattvic. So it's very interesting to drink. I will tell you, for myself. So I wake up, I have my 2 glasses of water. It's become a habit. It's just also nice to do. I can't have more than that. I just don't feel comfortable. And then I do my yoga practice, my meditation. And after that, when I'm done, I drink another 2 glasses. So that 1 liter of water is taken care of right in the first hour after I get up. Then I can have my breakfast later, maybe by 8. And then, continue like that with the timings that are quite close to what is recommended in Ayurveda. So it's not that difficult to do. I'm sure you will find a way to adapt for yourself. And if you can add, squeeze a lemon in your morning water. Lemon, although it's acidic in taste, when it lands in your stomach, it becomes completely alkaline, and it alkalinizes your system, which is also something that will help, to reduce the impact of stress. Stress makes our blood and all our humors, all our liquids in the body, makes it acidic. If we can try to have more of alkaline food, it's excellent for health. So that's 2 points, food, water. If you remember just those very simple but important pillars for food and water, you can already make a big change in your health. Now I would like to look at breathing, together. Breathing is, of course, the third pillar of health. We cannot, live very long without breathing. We can also live only a few days without water, and without food, it's a little longer. So those 3 pillars are definitely important. Breathing is part of the 3 main elements of health. This image on the screen represents you, and in light gray is the energy field of your own body. That we don't have only a gross body, we also have an energetic field around us, something that you feel when you sit next to someone. You can feel when some people are fearful or agitated, or when they're very peaceful or happy. You don't feel the same when you sit next to them or when you are in their presence. So this is this energetic field. If you think about a moment where you have, received a shock, either someone shouting or physical shock, the first thing that changes in you is your breathing. Usually you stop breathing and this circle completely contracts around yourself. Your energy doesn't flow anymore. Your breath becomes shallow. This is a normal reaction to a stress. To regain your ground, the most important thing is to breathe. And when we learn breathing techniques in pranayama and yoga, it is not just to be used on the mat. Actually, they are not that helpful on the mat, but they are helpful to be able to control your breath and to use your breath to control your mind in a reverse way. So before we move further, I would like to invite you to try a little exercise with me. Very simple one. For that, I need you to sit on your chair, or if you're on the floor, on the floor. Make sure that your spine is straight and your shoulders relaxed. And place your palms on your stomach. If you already know, a natural breathing for all the adults is mostly done by the chest. If I ask you right now to take a deep inhale, you will see your chest coming up. I would like you to learn the abdominal breathing, which is the natural breathing of the babies when they are born. Okay, they breathe through the stomach. And if you have a baby at home, just look when they sleep, you will see the stomach going up and down. So it is a natural breathing, and it has a lot of consequences, activating the parasympathetic system, which is, the regulator balancing every stress. So keep your hand on your stomach. The other hand, the left hand is on your knees. Spine is straight, chin parallel to the floor. We will breathe through the nose. Take a deep inhale, and as you inhale, try to feel that your abdomen is coming out like a balloon. So I will show you my hand. And exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. What is important is that you inhale slowly through the nose and exhale slowly again through the nose. One more time. Inhale and exhale. So whenever you feel at stress, whenever you feel that something is not okay with you, either you know the reason or not, that doesn't matter. And you want to, regain that fluidity, that confidence, that balance. Breathing is one of the fastest tricks to get back, into your own shoes. And breathing through the stomach, because, our parasympathetic system, if you've learned that in biology, it's mostly for the digestive system. The, nerves come there. So when we stimulate with the movement of the abdomen, we actually, and the diaphragm also, is linked to the vagal nerves, the number 10 of the cranial nerves. So it stimulates like this, the parasympathetic system, which rebalance the stress that you're leaving. Okay, so there are other pranayama that are excellent, like alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shuddhi. Again, it is not something that is only for the yoga class. Whenever you feel that you need balance, you need to be centered because you have something important to do, you can also do this practice. Okay, so there are techniques that we should use in our daily life. So that's about breathing. I will continue to share my slides. So there are two factors that we should look as indicators of our health. And it's your appetite and your bowel movements. If there is any imbalance at that level, you have to revisit the first three factors: food, water, and breathing, and look if there's anything that you can do better. If you can increase water, if you can start, being a little more conscious about your breathing. And if it's not enough, make sure that you go to the next, of these points, which is exercise. Yes, of course, exercise is part of a healthy lifestyle. There's nothing new in this. So I'm not going to tell you which kind of exercise to do, but I would like to look at the way you take exercise. And the most important thing for me, coming from the health background, would be that you take a physical activity that you can enjoy. And that's really important, because if you go through a workout with a lot of, stress on you, if you really have to push yourself to go through the workout, then you're actually doing, something that's opposite to what you were supposed to do, which means that you are stressing your system into doing exercise. Exercise should also bring a sense of relaxation. Maybe, do a team game, play with your friends on the campus, if it's possible, whenever it will be possible. Or just do a brisk walk, but do something that you like so that you can do it with joy. It is really something important that is usually never spoken about, and I can see many youngsters who really try to push themselves too hard, and they create actually more stress to their system. So it becomes a bit counterproductive. Now I want to take you to, in the field of sleep, because sleep is something that is difficult to put in place, especially when we are students. Most of the time, and I know, for having been there too, regulating your sleep is difficult because you have studies to do, and it's easier usually to push through the night than to get up early morning. But there is something that you should know, so that you're a little bit watchful about the number of hours that you sleep. An adult should sleep 8 hours, and actually a youngster should sleep even more than that, 9 to 10 hours. Children sleep more, so when we become older, we can sleep less. But 8 hours is a good amount. And I know there are many of you who do not sleep their 8 hours. So it has consequences, of course, about the concentration during the studies, but it also has consequences on your health. And this is because of this pituitary gland that you have, in your nervous system, central nervous system, and you've heard about it. And this gland is the master gland, secretes a lot of hormones, or regulates a lot of hormones. But the most important one is, for what concerns us, is the growth hormone, which is the one that makes children grow, but in adults, it repairs us. We have a natural capacity to repair ourselves, to rejuvenate our cells, our organs, especially when we are sick, but also when we are healthy. There are cells that need to be changed. There's always a catabolist action, and new cells have to be created, and that is done by the growth hormone. Growth hormone is secreted at night. So if you reduce your hours of sleep, you actually reduce your capacity, natural capacity, to recover, to heal. There are studies that have shown that people who have a night duty, that means that they have inverse their rhythm, circadian rhythm, have an impaired immune system. So in the current epidemic that we live, to have a healthy immune system is something that we are all trying to do. And a lot is related to sleep. Sleeping before midnight is even more important, because this will allow you to have the regular cycles. We have different cycles of sleep, and will allow this gland to do its action properly. Tomorrow, you will learn a very important tool that's called Heartfulness Cleaning, which is something that for me has been extremely helpful when I was a student, especially, and when I was having night duties as a medical student. Whenever I could, I had to be on night duty, I would make sure, this is, the cleaning, we do it every day, but I would not skip the cleaning on that day, even though I was in the hospital for the night, because it offers actually a feeling of rejuvenation that is so deep that after you do your cleaning, you actually can take up more work. It's like giving you the second breath of the athletes, It gives you a clear mind, and also, really works at the energy level. So you feel active again. And when you need to be up at night and take decision of life and death in the medical field, obviously it's interesting. I had observed, and I can share that with students, that when I do my cleaning well, if I miss a few hours of sleep, I can still cope. So it's definitely a good trick, but I don't want you to think that you can get away without sleeping properly. Okay, it's something you really have to understand and look at, so that you get the best of your vitality and energy. So the last element after water, food, breathe, the bowel indicators, exercise, and sleep is relaxation. And relaxation is as important as water and food and exercise. And when I speak about relaxation, I don't say, being on the couch in front of the TV, because there's still a lot of stimulus going on, lot of information, emotions, it goes in your subconscious. So it's not at all a state of relaxation. Although it's passive, this is not relaxation. There are several ways to relax, and I would like to take you into a guided practice of relaxation. And today we will continue the relaxation for a few minutes in silence after that, going into meditation. Meditation has the effect that the relaxation has, and of course it has much more I would say side effect or factors, beneficial factors that relaxation cannot give. So I would like to combine both together, so that you try this heartfulness meditation, which for me has been really a nice discovery. So to guide you to the practice, I will ask you to sit very comfortably, okay? And this time I want you to actually lean to the chair. Why is that important? It's because I need you to be very comfortable, so that if your body should not disturb you during this exercise of meditation. Okay? It's not a question of sitting still and sitting, very straight. I would prefer that you actually forget your body. It's really getting it to a deeper state of relaxation. So the way we meditate in heartfulness, we take the object of meditation as the heart. And there's a very good reason in it. And I'm happy, being a doctor, that of course there's a medical reason that the heart pumps the blood, into your entire system. So it's a good way to start if you want to impact something, with an object of meditation. Obviously, let's take the point that actually distributes the energy to the rest of the system. That's a good thing. But the heart is also the seat of the soul in all the religions and, the mystical currents. It's also the seat of our human emotions. It's what makes us human. If we, dive in the field of chakras, you will see that the three lower chakras are more about animal tendencies, and the higher ones are more about developing faculties. But the heart is really where the consciousness of the human is found. And you find it in the words that we use. For example, we say, oh, this person has such a big heart. Okay. You can say also, oh, I put all my heart into this. That means really the whole, it's not I just put my brain into it. There's more than that. It's the whole me. Okay, so I'm behind this. We also, know that the heart has this, emotions like compassion and empathy. So when we direct our attention and let it rest on the heart, it enhances these natural human qualities. And all this brings us to a state of peace. And also the people around you. So you know that on Monday it's the World Peace Day. Internationally, you know, in all the countries, people are trying to promote, to do actions so that, you know, there's more and more peace. And I believe, and I've been really working towards that in my life, that, you know, if I find peace in my heart and I can share it with others, then we will surely make a difference. And if we can contaminate others with peace, we'll have a peaceful world. So let's try this meditation together, okay? I will start with relaxation, a little bit like in yoga. Then I'll ask you to bring your attention to the heart and to try to stay there with just a thought that there's a source of light in your heart. Don't try to see a bulb or a flame. It's just a thought. And that I would like you to try to transform it to a feeling that there's a nice source of luminosity in your heart. And just be there. And if you have thoughts, you know, try to let them go. Bring your attention back to the heart very gently. And especially relax there. So let's start together. You close your eyes. You can remove your glasses if you're like me. You don't need them right now. Close your eyes. Sit very comfortably. And if you need to move at any point, feel free to do so. We'll start with the toes. Wiggle your toes. And now feel them relaxed. And feel the energy of Mother Earth entering your feet and your ankles, relaxing them. Feel the energy moving up your legs, relaxing your calf muscles and your knees. Feel the energy moving in your thighs. Relax your thighs. Now deeply relax your hips, lower back and lower abdomen. Feel the energy moving up your spine, relaxing your lower back, middle back, upper back and neck. Relax your abdomen and all the organs in it. Feel the energy moving up your chest, filling your chest. And feel your chest completely relaxed. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Feel your shoulders simply melting away. Relax your arms, elbows, forearms, hands and fingers. Bring your attention to your neck, And relax each of your neck muscles. Relax the muscles of your face, the jaw, chin, lips, nose, cheeks, eyelids, forehead, temples, back of the ears, back of the head, till the top of your head. And feel how your body, from the top of the head till the toes, is now completely relaxed. And gently bring your attention to your heart, where you feel the heartbeat. Have a thought that there is a source of light in your heart, illuminating your heart from within. And pulling you inwards. If some thoughts are coming up, just watch them leave you. Let them go. They are rising to leave you. And gently bring your attention back to the heart and rest there. Rest in silence until you hear that song. And that's all. You can keep your eyes closed for a moment. And observe your state of being right now. How you feel. And when you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes, maybe with a few blinks. And come back to the present moment. So this is a simple exercise in relaxation and meditation that really helps, in gathering the best of our potential, boosting our mind potential, boosting our immunity at all levels. Meditation has a lot to offer and has been already studied quite extensively, over the past 30 years, I would say. And it's definitely worth inculcating. It's not something for elder people. It's absolutely something that is part of a healthy lifestyle. So I'm glad that we could share this with you. Simple practice. And I think we have 5 minutes for questions. Yes. So I'm looking at the chat. I do have a few questions that a little too case by case is not something I can do. I can't do consultation online. I will answer questions that the second one about emotions and feelings affect our food completely. Actually, emotions and thoughts, behind the emotion are also part of the food. It's the food for the other body, the subtle body. So you should watch, the way, the attitude when you eat. Usually we say never eat when you're angry. Just wait, delay that. And also, eat with people who are happy around you. Don't discuss things that are stressful, or don't eat with people who are angry, okay? Because that you're also going to eat that. It will affect the way you digest. It will affect your food. Thank you for the question. From copper bottle, glass, yes, that's definitely a good thing. Copper bottle is good. Glass bottle is very good, better than plastic bottles, which we know, has chemicals in it. And warm water is a very good thing to do. When you think about cold water, it's like, putting a rubber band in cold water. It snaps faster. And our, fabric, our tissues are made of the same kind of stuff. So warm water is better for many reasons. That's a good question. Thank you. The recipient in which you're going to put your water will leak some of its particle inside the water. So it has different effect if you drink from a silver or gold cup or from, copper bottle. Thank you for sharing your experience. Other ways of relaxing than meditation? Yes, an important one is through the eyes. So if you can just go out and look at the horizon, you relax your eyes, and just, staring at the clouds is a fantastic way to relax. It might not be as deep as the relaxation that we have done, and surely will not have the benefits of meditation, but it's a good beginning. Why not? sit and study for long hours. Yes, I've been there. I'm still there. You can find, we have a YouTube channel in Heartfulness Yoga. You just type Heartfulness Yoga in one word, you will find us. And we do have a few exercises to do on chair, So, that's a good beginning. But please go out and do, a little bit of exercise. You will be faster in the way you produce your work. I'm a witness of that. I've been studying for 11 years in my medical studies. It's also difficult studies. You also need to sit for long hours. You need to recharge your batteries, and movements is important. You will also learn tomorrow the cleaning. That's been an really fantastic tool for me to develop my concentration. So I'm happy that it comes tomorrow. What would you say about cannabis? That's an interesting question. Well, it has some medical use that are interesting, and it is legal in some states, in the US. So again, it's a pharmaceutic plant like many others, so it should be used properly. I think we are going to get over time. Chavi, I can see you're watching the clock. So for exercise, please, we try to publish regular videos of yoga of different level. You can go and see there. And I hope you'll find, yoga is very holistic also. It really stimulates all the systems and something you can do at home. You don't need any equipment. That's quite an elegant way to take care of your body. Hitesh, I did not prescribe cannabis. I'm so sorry for that, but that is not something that I will do. Okay, so thank you. I think we can close, and if there are more questions, you are welcome to ask them tomorrow with the next Heartfulness trainers. I hope it's been useful, and you can try to make few adjustments, simple adjustments in your life, and take care of your health. Thank you very much for your attention and your questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Veronique, for the simple and practical way that you explained about health, healthy living. So we just experienced something beautiful, moving from the body to breath to food, dealing with the body and the breath and stress, and how we move inside, relaxing our whole system and in a meditative state. So we experienced a range of experiences today, and this is just a beginning. We have many steps further moving into the cleaning practice tomorrow, which will help you deal with the emotions and the stress in a better way, and connecting within on the third day, which will help you meditate better. So, heartfulness aims at holistic wellness, and we have seen today in the beginning only what we can do with it. I'm very delighted and I'm very happy that so many of you have joined, and I deeply appreciate the support extended by the director IIT Roorkee, Professor Ajit Chaturvedi ji, DOS W, Professor M.K. Barua, ADOS W Wellness, Professor Kiran, and also the Dean Academic, Professor P. Apte from Jodhpur, IIT Jodhpur, Professor D.K. Pandya, Dean Students Welfare from IIT Jammu, and Associate Dean Dr. V.K. Pal from IIT Jammu. So they have made it possible for us to bring this to the students and faculty of IIT and also other institutions. Since it's a virtual platform, we have shared it with all the engineering colleges around we can say India, whole of India, and I hope they have benefited with the session today. with with Dr. Veronique, who is an expert in health and yoga. So, as she suggested, we can go and log into Heartfulness Yoga and try the yoga exercises, which will help in the back pain, which is mentioned by one of the participants. And there are various questions which we can take up later on, and they can write to us, and we'll surely respond. So, thank you all for participating, and we look forward to the session tomorrow, which is an important session. And from Heartfulness Institute, which is operational in more than 170 countries now, with 5,000 meditation centers, 13,000 plus meditation trainers across the globe, offering everything free of charge. We wish you a good evening and hope to see you tomorrow again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Good night to all.